It's funny. Sorry, I have like a view of like the street from my office, so I can see people cross by. But actually, before I start recording this video, this is kind of like a weird side note. The garbage guys came and picked up the trash. So I had to put a pause, but it's also exciting because garbage day is normally for us. It's normally Fridays. They come in the morning, pick it up, and they leave. All Friday they didn't come, so a lot of us were kind of worried, like, yo, like, is it gonna happen this weekend? It happened today. Today's Saturday, by the way, so it's obviously one full day has passed and they were able to pick up the trash, so we're super excited about that. Unfortunately, only did compost, so they haven't picked up recycling and regular trash. I don't know why I'm still talking about the trash. Anyways, back to on a regular scheduled content. Obviously, if I put an unboxing video before this, you know that I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite lenses, or I would say more of my favorite focal length, especially because like when I bought my first camera, or when I bought my first full frame camera, which was the Alpha 7 Mark II, this was like the big boy lens that I bought with it. And it was one of my favorite portrait lenses that I've used in my growth in photography. That is obviously the 85mm. This is the, I guess, I wouldn't say like the portrait killer, but it's such a great focal length if you're doing some like really cool editorial, very artsy kind of stuff. Obviously the 35 and the 50mm are such cool and actually, you know, I would say like flagship of focal lengths, but the 85 is just that just creaminess, that very sharp, that very detailed focal length. And it's so beautiful. And I'm excited. Like I said, if I posted an unboxing video in this, before this section of this video, you already know what lens I'm talking about. And if I didn't, and the title doesn't give it away, which it should entirely give it away, is I got the new 85 GMaster Mark II f1.4. This, look how beautiful, look how clean that looks. Like, ooh, let me see, ooh, fancy. This is to feature me editing this video. If you decide to do it, insert the fancy B-roll for this lens. And if not, that's totally fine, because then we can just go right into the video. But if I did insert it, here it is. Hopefully that was amazing if I did do it. If not, that was just a weird, awkward pause that I did on my part. Obviously, you know, this is a Mark II. This is a newer version. This came out September, November, August. It came out in the fall. That's all I remember. What makes this better than the Mark I is there's a few aspects. I mean, some people have said there's not really much of a major difference. However, there are a few key items. You know, for starters, it is, you know, a little bit sharper. You know, I've read people's reviews about this because I haven't entirely get to use it yet. I get to use it on Sunday, tomorrow, because I have a shoot, but, and I'm gonna abuse the hell out of this lens. But it is sharper, it is faster in autofocusing because the Mark I is not using the extreme dynamic linear motors, or they call them XD linear motors. They're using an old style, so this one is faster. So if you have like the Alpha 9 Mark III or Alpha 1, or even the Alpha 7 R5, which uses the AAI like tracking, it can keep up with it. It won't lag, it won't kind of drop down. Alpha 9 Mark III, if you're shooting at 120 frames per second, that focusing will not be lost if you're shooting at 120 frames per second. But I don't know who is doing that. I mean, I know people who are, but you know, you get my point. It can keep up now. Not only that, sorry, excuse me, I'm kind of burpy. The Mark I was kind of noisy when focusing. So if you use this for like shooting videos and you don't have like a lot your mic I have right now, it's kind of hidden. Let's see, there it is. Or if you don't have like some wireless, the DJI wireless mics or the Rode wireless mics that attach here, and you have a shotgun mic attached to the camera, you can hear it. It's very faint, but you can kind of hear in the back if you're like trying to focus on something like the subject or whatever's behind the subject, you can hear it. And so that's obviously a plus. You know, as someone who has used the 85 for video, I have I have this one. This is my first 85. This is the FE. Let me see, the FE f1.8, 85 lens. I have used this in video. Luckily, I only use it for B-rolls, so I didn't have to worry about the sound. But when I did listen to like the post-recording while I'm editing, you can hear this. You can hear it go. I've used the 85 f4 GMaster Mark 1. You can hear it. It's very faint, but you can hear it. So obviously, those are the kind of the, not the only one. Sorry, I missed one of the bigger points. It is smaller. It is lighter. It's 20% lighter, and I think 10 to 13% smaller. I'm gonna put the kind of the measurements on the side here of Mark 1 versus the Mark 2. So that's another plus. I think the photography age, we're starting to kind of slowly get to that pace where we're like, let's get smaller lenses. Let's get smaller prime lenses. I mean, a comparison is if you look at the 50 f1.4 GMaster, the 50 f1.4 GMaster Mark 1, this here compared to that 50 f1.4 or f1.2, if you compare this one to the f1.2, that's why people are wanting smaller, because that thing's a beast. It's a chunk. So obviously that's another plus. It's kind of puts less weight on your bag or your case, whatever you're using to transfer it. So those are kind of what makes it better, makes it newer versus the Mark 1. Are they still the same? Yes, but performance-wise, it's better. Sharpness, it's a little bit better. I have read a few articles that did say that, like, obviously you're never gonna use this for macro, but they noticed that when they used this one and the Mark 1, they noticed that sometimes the sharpness did fall off on the side and as well as the center of the image. So they start to notice that. But obviously nobody's gonna zoom in to your images to find that. So, that's this or that. But I'm excited for this lens. This is, like I said, my favorite focal lens. When I bought my first camera, like first full frame, I bought an 85mm right after that because it's beautifully, I don't know how to put words to it, but like when you're shooting portraits on it, it pulls the subject really towards you. It really separates that background. And you can kind of feel more in depth into it. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. I can't really explain it, but when I compare this 85 to a 50mm to a 35, each lens takes a different type of image. And so this newer version is doing it much, I guess it's doing it more perfect than the first one. And I'm so excited to use it, especially on the 7R Mark V. The 7R Mark V is a 61 megapixel camera. Like, if I put this 85 on there, this is gonna be the most like sharp, high resolution image you'll ever see. And I'm excited for it. I mean, this is what I'm making a video about it. I haven't done a lens video. Actually, I don't think I ever done a lens video on this channel. I think I did on TikTok, but I'm just excited for this, Plus, it also kind of completes my f1.4 prime collection because I have a 50, I have a 35, and now I have an 85. So it's like the Holy Trinity has been completed. But I'll also have, technically the 2170 is part of the GMaster Trinity, but as for primes, this is where it goes. I know there is commentary on wishing it was an f1.2. If there are people who know how lens are manufactured and there's people who don't know how lens manufactures, but if this was an f2, it would be a little bit bigger. I used the 50 f1.4 versus the f1.2 GMaster comparison. It is that. It is undoubtedly bigger. It would make it heavier. So I'm 100% okay at it being an f1.4. For light stops, it's not a huge difference. You can't really tell the difference, in my opinion. Especially if someone who's been dealing with cameras for a very long time, but for lenses, they can see it. But for somebody who if you're posting on Instagram, if you're posting for a commercial work, nobody's gonna look at that picture and gonna be like, that was shot at a f2, So nobody's gonna understand. They're not gonna recognize it. So the whole f1.2 argument is kind of, I think it's redundant. In my personal opinion. Let me put it, highlight, my personal opinion. This lens is priced at $17.99. So that's a lot of chunk and change. I know a lot of people are like, and I know there's competitors that are making it cheaper. But also at the same time, one thing people don't know is that competitive lenses for E-mounts, they can't shoot at the certain frame rate a camera is, giving. So, for example, this 9 Mark III is 120 frames per second. This will do the 120 frames per second. A competitor lens cannot do that. So there is a this or that kind of scenario. So if you want to drop the money, I would highly recommend, especially if you have a camera that does, if you have the 9 Mark III, by all means do it. Even the 7R5, I think it cuts down the frames per second. I could be wrong. I think now they're at the point where they can match it, but I think there's some like legality that they can't do it. I don't know. But anyways, I'm very big on, how do I put this? I would like to have my lens be the same manufacturer as the camera body because they can work together, like unified. I know some people, and I know lenses are getting better. I know, competitors like Sigma, Veltrox, even Tamron are getting to the point where it's now like a neck to neck match. But I'm a big fan of just keeping my things in the same ecosystem because they're gonna work better. And that's just, my point of view. If you think it is too expensive, there is an alternative option, and I did mention this one already, is the 85 f1.8 FE. This is the very standard, let me kind of just get close. It's a very standard lens. It does the job. If you're at a price, this one right now price is at $548, and that's pretty good. It's not as sharp as that 85 f1.4 GMaster Mark II, and it's not as fast, but if you're just doing portraits and you're on a budget, that lens is gonna work. It's gonna do what you need to do. I don't think it's a big problem, but that is an alternate option if you want to stay in the ecosystem. Obviously, like I said, there are other options you can buy, but I would recommend staying within the ecosystem because it's nice. It's nice. It's nice to have a Sony on a Sony. You know what I'm saying? You don't get a Leica. I was about to say you don't get a Leica M and put a different lens, but you can get a Leica M and put a Voigtlander lens on there, and that can do a lot of work. I will say though, a Leica M lens on a Leica M body, that image quality, beautiful. That's why you stay in the ecosystem. I redact my comment. Even though I own a Voigtlander lens from my M6, that's completely different. Other than that, another thing to note, if you have the 70-200 GMaster telephoto lens, the diameter on that one is 77 millimeters. I don't know I'm blanking out. This is the same one. So if you have lens filters or even a step-up ring, it can fit on this. So you don't have to worry about buying a new one. It's really nice in my personal opinion because I was kind of worried. I was like, freak, what's the size of this one? Because then I have to buy another step-up ring. Luckily, this does it. For example, my 24-70 that's on here is an 82, and so all my lens filters are 82 because this is one of the lenses I use the most for videos and all that stuff. So knowing that this is a 77 millimeter and this, I have a step-up ring, dude, easy, lemon squeezy. This is not really a lens review because I haven't used it yet, but I'm just kind of explaining why they made a Mark II, why they made a Mark I. I love this lens. I don't know what to do with it yet. I'm super excited, but I really want to kind of get shooting on this. So the lens industry is hard. There's so many competitors. There's so many things. I feel like it's always hard to say choose this or that. But it is what it is for now. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to use this. If I haven't yet, or been able to, because I don't know how soon I'll edit this video, I hope I have sample images to show. If not, then maybe obviously another time. But other than that, obviously, not to sound like a broken record, but like and subscribe. And hopefully this comes out on time because I've been busy lately. So other than that, thank you for watching. Have a killer day. I'm excited that my garbage got taken out. So, later haters.